Do you feel as if freedom is under attack, and if so, how?
Oh, well, absolutely. I mean, freedom is written in our Constitution. Those are our freedoms. Those are our God-given rights, right? And if we don't have them, then no, we're not free. If we can't speak our minds and let people know how it is that we feel and what we're experiencing, then what do we have? We don't have a voice. We don't have the ability to express ourselves, and without that, the rest of it, doesn't even matter.
What? A mouthful of nothingness.
I believe we became a slave state in 1870 when our birth certificates started to get sold to the companies, and so there's like three different kinds of laws out there, and I don't understand it completely. I'm still
So were we Christian while we had slavery here?
well. Being Christian is a personal relationship with Jesus Christ.
No, I meant as a nation, because we were talking about being a Christian nation. That's what you had said before.
Well, yeah, we were, but many of us were deceived, and many of us were not accountable due to churches not teaching the truth about different things.
I see.
Let's be clear. America didn't become a slave state in 1870 when she began to sell people's birth certificates. First of all, there has never been a point when America sold birth certificates as bond. This is a conspiracy theory. This is a lie, a scam that dates back to 1939. This guy talking about there are 3 laws and he don't know the full extent of those laws, and he's not completely understanding them, is exactly right, because they don't exist, and he's making stuff up as he go.
You need to keep in mind too, we didn't invent slavery; we ended it. It was a really hard thing to do. I mean, we fought a civil war over it. England ended slavery just before that, but slavery existed everywhere throughout all of humanity. I mean, my ancestors are Irish. They were enslaved by the British to the tune of 1.25 million. People need God. That's what it comes down to. And I know that for me, I had, I was a kind of a product of my own culture, in that I was, running away with eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. I didn't have a moral compass. I knew what right and wrong was, but
Sounds fun, by the way.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. Sin's great, by the way. Sin is great, but it's not great for very long. There's a big difference between having a good time and living a good life. And living a good life is kind of hard, because it means you have to make sacrifices and you have to say no to sin. And Christ makes that easier. It makes it an easier proposition, because he changes your heart, and that's what he did for me. He stopped. He kept me from desiring the things that were destroying me. So he changed my heart. So when people get offended when they see an American flag and say, "Oh, well, that's a symbol of hate or a symbol of racism or something like that," they're really distorting what it means. The idea of America still beats strongly in the heart of every American, and it's about freedom and liberty and personal autonomy, personal sovereignty, being master of your own destiny, being able to build your own business, being able to take care of your family. I mean, things that are essentially universally cherished and treasured. And
Do you feel that those are under attack in some way?
Absolutely they are. I mean,
In what ways?
Well, I mean, look at all the social media. People being banned. I mean, I think censorship is by far one of the most dangerous things. And Jordan Peterson talks about this quite a bit. Once you censor a person's ability to say certain things, you're essentially hamstringing their ability to think properly.
Despite my proclivity to feel guilt, which is quite substantive, and despite my temperamental unwillingness to engage in conflict, not only do I not see what I did wrong, I think what I've done on the public communication front is my responsibility.
I believe we became a slave state in 1870 when our birth certificates started to get sold to the companies.
1870 is when America became a slave state. Not even 1619, what people say is when the first blacks, the first Africans came and were enslaved in this country in Jamestown. Even though we know blacks came before then in St. Augustine in Florida with the Spanish colonies, right? We know this happened. We know in 1526, a Spanish settlement tried to settle in South Carolina. what is present-day South Carolina, but the black people on the ship resisted. 1619. We can't even get 1619. This man said America became a slave state when white people's birth certificate in 1870 began to get sold. And I'm assuming he's talking about white people because who else had birth certificates in 1870? This is the ridiculous nature we exist when we allow people like Trump to be elected and lie as much as he did and maintain relevance in our politics. This is what happens. The electric becomes what we saw. 3 white men complaining about something they can't fully wrap their head around. Or maybe they can. They just don't want to speak about it. The ideal of whiteness is being under attack. That's all they are screaming about. They could not articulate anything, any real gripes that are based in facts at all. The only thing they were complaining about are facts that don't exist. Untruths, as what they've been named for Donald Trump, but they're just lies. They're just lies. White men who are upset that America is trying to speak for more than them. The idea that a young man like this one in this video speaking about his freedoms under attack, freedoms in the Constitution, and if you don't have those freedoms, then you ain't free. What? A mouthful of nothingness. The idea that people are worrying about censorship and not people's lives being taken as we come off a weekend that we just saw. We just saw black people being murdered for being black. Being black was their crime. In Jacksonville, Florida, a white gunman, for no reason other than he is white and upset, chose to shoot 3 black people while they shopped at a dollar store. This is the new norm in this country. Aggrieved white people at the thought that black people or brown people or anybody is taking their America away from them can murder whoever that person is. Those people are. We continue to see this. We're not having real conversations because we allow things like were said in these videos to be our norm. When will America deal with her racist white sons? Well, judging by this video, judging by the take, not ever. Not ever. Reality is gone, and it's our fault as Americans who sit silent. I'm Mondale Robinson. Have a good evening, but not before you think about it.